What's up, everybody, and welcome to our Monday Momentum Drop. This is Coach Alex and Coach Jaclyn here with Ignite Fitness Training. This one's going to be a part of Coach's Corner podcast, as well as you'll find this on our school, Coach Academy. So welcome in, Jack. How are you feeling?
I'm good. Yeah, all good.
30,
Excited about this one.
37 weeks pregnant. Good, right? So we're ready for our baby boy, Lucas, to be here any moment. Be fun. So, let's keep this thing going. Today is going to be a really good one. Like Jack said, it's going to be fun. We're talking about senior fitness, the science and strategy of training older clients. Okay. So, we're going to talk about, why senior fitness is a coaching superpower, the research, science, and lifespan, physiology behind it, assessment, adaptation, and program design, as well as real coaching applications, coach actions and reflections lastly. So stay tuned for this one, guys. It's going to be a fun one, okay? This is one of those episodes that separates good coaches from great ones. Most trainers are chasing elite athletes or shredded bodybuilders, but if you want to be a high-level coach, the kind that changes lives, keeps clients for years, and builds bulletproof programs, you better know how to train the aging population. Today, we're unlocking the blueprint for senior fitness. I know you're going to love this one, Jack.
I know. And it's not just about like silver sneakers classes, which I've personally taught before and I love it. I think it's super fun. Or just about chair stretches. We're talking about real programming, progressive strength that supports aging adults in, maintaining their activities of daily living, controlled mobility, cardiovascular resilience, injury prevention, and just everything that's adapted to the physiology of the older adult. So if you want to be a coach who adds years to people's lives and life, especially to their years, this one's for you.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess this is what's great. And I do truly believe that this is going to be an episode for those of you that really want to branch out and be that well-rounded elite coach that can work with anyone, because a lot of people, it's easy to hyper focus on young athletes that are already skilled in their crafts, or taking someone and doing a body recomposition when they're still in great health and other stuff, right? They just need to make some lifestyle habits. And I got this experience when I was working with Athlon for a little bit, right? So doing some in-person training with this great gym called Athlon in the San Luis Obispo area. And the owner, Ryan, of Athlon, he has a couple locations in San Slow and also in Paso Robles. Super knowledgeable, great guy. The one in Slow that I was working at, though, and I was also filling in Paso once in a while, but it's right next to a physical therapist office, and we get a lot of clients that would come in from a physical therapist office, and a lot of them being older, in the older population. And I got to learn a lot about that demographic, and I really, really enjoyed it, right? I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did. You have a lot of experience in this, though, Jaclyn. You've done this quite long, right? And a lot of your clients that you still help out remotely as well, through your hybrid training, in person and online, are also some of the older population, right? So
Yeah. I have a big group of my clients that are anywhere between 68 years old up to 86 years old.
wow.
And I think that, one, I love this population. It's a wonderful experience working with them and just getting to know them. A lot of them have honestly become like family to me, and friends. And we're in each other's lives for a long time. But two, it really helped to learn learn how to work around and build momentum and strength around existing injuries, health conditions that help me be a better trainer for, the younger population too.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
uh-huh.
I think the other cool thing about this topic is, like, it gives you a look into the future,
Totally.
as to your own health, and like things that you may not have even understood, like, like what the elderly population deals with, right? It's kind of like I say, we cast them aside. We all have grandmas and grandpas and uncles and aunts and stuff that get older, and we watch them age, and it's a beautiful thing of part of life, right? But as you train people with these ailments and coming, just looking for that daily functionality, right? It's something that we can recognize in ourselves, that we can watch out for, right? To keep our own health and our own longevity and quality of life up. So it's a good one today, right? So because honestly, people are living longer.
Yes.
Medicine, the technology we have today, people are living longer. So let's start with the big truth there, you know?
Yeah, so people over 55, it's one of the fastest growing demographics in fitness. There was a 2023 report that participation in fitness among adults 65 and older has increased over 34% in the past 5 years. And these clients are committed. I can speak to that. They're really driven a lot of times. They show up, rarely miss. They're a lot of times long-term clients, and they truly need us, and they need guidance.
Yeah, yeah. They're also at higher risk for certain things. Like, what are they at high risk for, Jack?
Sarcopenia, so muscle loss. Osteoporosis is a big one. Balance deficits, um, and loss of independence, which is really important to keep in mind. So all of that can be slowed or even reversed, with targeted strength training and functional mobility work and consistent movement.
Yeah, for sure. And most coaches avoid them. They assume that older clients can't train hard or that they're fragile. The mindset is the problem, right? That mindset is the problem. Senior clients don't need babysitters. They need intelligent program design and confidence building progression. So this is where great coaches stand out. You don't just build muscle, you build confidence, balance, bone density, quality of life. You reduce fall risk. That's huge, right? You increase autonomy. This is coaching at its highest level. So yeah, it's definitely great, right? So let's talk about the science, physiology, and research that we've done about this, right? So let's go ahead and go into some of the more technical terms. I'll let Jaclyn take that on, you know?
So yeah, as we age, we see predictable physiological shifts, right? So understanding them is the key to programming properly.
Yeah.
So for example, um,
We'll start with sarcopenia.
yeah, so
Right.
um
It says,
muscle loss, right?
yeah, begins around age 30 to 35 and accelerates after 60 quite a bit, right? So Um, on average, adults lose 3 to 8% of muscle mass per decade, which is huge. That's loss of muscle equals lower metabolic rate, higher injury risk, as well as poor balance. Sarcopenia causes consequences in therapy. This was a study done back in 2012, which holds today by Mitchell. But we see that all the time. Like you hear about it all the time. It's much more prevalent nowadays. Like after 30, without a proper strength training program, and diet, right? Protein intake, all of that, you'll start to lose muscle mass, right? And they also have studies, and I don't know if we have that particular study in here, guys, so we can always look that up for you guys. But they have a study that the more muscle mass you have later in life, the longer life is expectancy, right? And a lot of that has to do with fall risk and other stuff like that. So, um, yeah, so muscle mass, again, it decreases 1 to 2% per year after 50. Strength declines even faster, 3 to 5% annually. This would be dynap can you pronounce that one? Dynapnea? Dynapnea? Dynapnea.
No,
Yeah, dynap
I'm not sure. It's like the loss of
strength, right? So muscle mass, yeah, strength and muscle mass. I mean, a lot of times we equate the two, but you can have
dynapenia.
dynapenia, thank you. Yeah. Dynapenia, which is going to be like, oh, yep, definitely, so um totally, that's an interesting thing, right? So it's an interesting stat to kinda look at, so definitely, pretty cool there. So let's keep moving forward. What we got here? Ah, osteopenia or osteoporosis, right? You can go ahead and touch on this one.
Yeah, so 1 in 2 women and 1 in 4 men over 50 will break a bone due to osteoporosis.
Wow.
And this is in a 2015 study, resistance training and bone health in older adults. So peak bone mass drops due to decreased as estrogen and testosterone levels, reduced loading, and poor diet. So obviously, a way to combat that is strength training and nutrition. And just speaking into it more, it bone density drops due to reduced osteoblast activity, and women are really vulnerable post menopause to this. I'm a menopause specialist as well, and this is something we've talked about quite a bit. So for women, resistance training is imperative. It's in the longevity of one's life.
Yeah.
So
We also see neuromuscular decline. This includes all the things below, right? So slower motor unit recruitment, right? Which can in turn affect all of these things like balance and uh, proprioception decline, right? So sensory system desensitizes vision, inner ear, plantar, feedback. It can get. I've actually experienced this a little bit. I had vertigo as a kid, right? And still would deal with that. And that inner ear, oh my gosh, that's wild. Where you're just sitting there still, and the room is spinning. It's really wild, right? But this can happen as we age, also. So our balance and proprioception decline happens. Poor balance equals increased fall risk, obviously, as well as fractures and loss of independence. You're dependent on someone, maybe a walker or something, to keep your balance. So we also have brain and cognitive adaptability. This is neuroplasticity. It remains trainable into your 90s with movement and stimulus. So we're constantly rewiring, and also that neuroplasticity in our brain, it is always trainable into your 90s as long as we keep moving, guys. So like Rolling Stone gathers no moss. Keep moving. Do not stop. Keep the stimulus going. Task training, movement, and cognition reduces Alzheimer's progression, guys. This was a Colcom and Kramer study in 2003, fitness effects on cognitive function of older adults. There's also reduced aerobic capacity. VO2 max declines 10% per decade after 30, leads to fatigue, reduced endurance, and lower cardiovascular resilience. So, like, all these things sound terrible, man, but this is just how the body ages. This is how it's a beautiful thing. We're getting older, but we can age gracefully, right? These numbers don't have to stay true. If we can continue with a cardiovascular strength training, protein enriched diet, we can hold off and stave off these aging effects, right? So, yeah,
Yeah. And that's why we're here, right? And that's why being open to this population and training is so imperative.
yeah.
Um,
Aging is not deterioration, guys.
no, and we can help.
We can. It's a different training phase, right? It's not over, guys. It's a different training phase. I like to say this all the time, but we're not ex-athletes, we're aged athletes. So when we treat older clients like they're capable and we train them like it, they improve faster than most 30-year-olds would have on the couch for a decade.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to add something there that we didn't talk about. We don't really have a study to reference it, and this is more off of personal perspective. Um, but I think these social connections, getting out of one's house, a lot of times, like the older population or the clients that I've seen, um, getting them out of the house and doing stuff, it's like really rewarding and positive on their mental health too. And just brings joy to their lives. And that is also important.
Yeah, 100%.
In that community, especially if it's like in a gym community or an online community or what have you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like a lot of people have, I guess everyone's different, right? But you have people that go to work and you're in that community and you're working and you have coworkers and you're actively engaging with the public. Um, and then as you retire or you get older, right, that's not necessarily the case. So a lot of times elderly people spend a lot of time alone, and this is one of their events that they look forward to. I mean, I can relate as working from home. A lot of times I'm isolated, right? And just going to the gym and having that human interaction is just so great for my my mental state of mind, which goes hand in hand for our elderly population as well. So yeah. So let's talk about the solution. So we know we have all these things that happen as we're aging. It's a beautiful part of the process. But what's the solution? Strength, balance, power, and movement. Strength, balance, power, and movement. Here's the good news. All of this is adaptable. Studies show older adults respond just as well to resistance training as younger individuals. They just need more time to recover and more intelligent loading. Okay. So this was done in high intensity strength training in nonagenarians. Okay. This was
Not
all,
engineering.
it's not non-agenarians. I just say it funny. I say words funny. I say things funny. Non-agenarians, guys. 10-week strength training in 90-year-olds improved muscle strength by 113%. 90 years old, guys. 10-week strength training, 113%. I wish I had those gains in my 20s. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, that's the mic drop. The problem isn't their age, it's the programming approach. So let's go ahead and go into assessment, adaptation, and program design. Go ahead.
So assessments for older clients should definitely emphasize joint function, balance, grip strength, and movement quality, not just performance maxes, obviously. So we're going to list a variety of assessments. We'll have a handout, right, available as well.
Yeah, we'll have there's gonna be a free senior fitness assessment toolkit ebook that we have, a PDF guide for our coaches, and we'll have a little ebook put together for all our clients listening. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So sit to stand test, timed up and go test, single leg balance, stand balance test, eyes open and closed, um, functional reach test. Again, we'll have more information on what these are. It would take up a lot of time just to talk about them all right now. Um, Modified overhead squat, grip strength test, and gait speed test as well. So yeah, we'll have that ebook for you. Um, Want to throw in there too, in some with some clients, especially if they're starting and they haven't been in fitness, I've had to modify some of this testing for sure. Utilize other things like TRX straps to help and build the strength in the beginning. So there's ways to modify. Um, and these tests just tell you where the client is right now and what systems need to be addressed first. Is it stability, strength, coordination? What is needing the most attention, and how to program.
Right. Thank you. Um, so yeah, guys, we follow this is how we do our programming strategy. Okay, so let's move into that. So we follow SMART, just like SMART goals. This one's our senior method, right? And this one actually, the acronym stands for strength, mobility, autonomy, recovery, and transfer, transfer to life, right? So go ahead, Jack, tell them about our SMART senior method.
Yeah, it's just structured for to build long-term progression without overwhelming. Um, and so strength first, I'll start with that. Um, Prioritizing compound strength in every movement. So like foundational lifts, box squats. Sometimes I start with a sit to stand. Sometimes it's a sit to stand with a TRX, helping them get up with tempo. So really intentional there, right? Uh, Dumbbell deadlift or kettlebell sumo deadlift if they can do that. There's also modifications for that as well. And incline push-ups, bench press with support. For some of my clients who are older that are unable to like get on and off the ground, I love using cable machines, getting an upright bench there, doing cable bench press, wall sits, chair get ups, like I said earlier, sit to stands. Um, Load them carefully, but also don't underdose them, right? There's a sweet spot there.
Yeah.
And it just takes practice and knowing, right?
Yeah. So again, we can relate to that study that we talked about earlier, guys, but we're talking about high intensity strength training and non-agenarians, 113% strength gain in 90-year-olds, guys. That's wild. It's a wild
I
stat.
mean,
So don't underdose them.
no, and I have seen like it's okay, like, again, starting somebody on a TRX, sit to stand, and moving them and to a box, or, a sit to stand and then giving them a dumbbell. It happens really quickly.
Okay.
And it's really it's a great measure that even the client can see themselves improving in.
Right.
And it's really motivating for all of us. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So next would be a part of our SMART would be mobility and movement prep. So we're talking about cars daily for joint health, breath-based thoracic mobility, cat-cow, seated T-spine rotations, things of that nature. Pails and rails for deeper joint integrity and seated to standing mobility and floor transitions, right? So again, this is very similar to what we do with regular athletes, mobility and movement prep, right? We're also obviously going to assess their current mobility and all that, but um, don't use it and you lose it type of thing, right? So let's get people moving again. Let's keep them mobile. It's going to help out in their everyday life 100%. So next we move into autonomy training. Okay, so the goal is to build real world transfer. Let's start that real world transfer. Functional drills like loaded carry with groceries. Like what can we associate a loaded carry with groceries? I think we could do a single arm kettlebell, right? Just a farmer's walk, right? Just like you're carrying in the groceries. Talk about stair step ups, all right? Doing little miniature box step ups, stair step ups, things of that nature. Reach to pull drills, okay? Floor to stand flows. I love these. The Turkish get up without any weight and then incorporate some weight. Turkish get up can be a very powerful tool. It's just to get yourself off the ground. If you can do it with 5, 10, 15 pounds in your hand, you should be able to do it with nothing, right? So there's a lot of different stuff we can start to incorporate this functional daily movement of our daily lives. Include dual task drills, balance and memory games, walking, counting backwards, things like that for that cognitive benefits as well. I loved, again, when we were working at, I was working at Athlon there. We had so many different cognitive drills Ryan came up with. It's really cool. So,
Yeah. I like to do one with some of my clients, like, where I play catch with them
yeah.
too, where it's, you know, their reaction time,
Yeah.
right? And how fast they can respond. I usually use, like, a little small Pilates ball, make it a little difficult, and it's fun for both of us.
How come you don't ever play catch with me?
We're always working.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. So, what do we got next on our smart? We're at SMA. Now we're in R. What do we got?
So recovery, regulation, so, monitoring their heart rate, variability if we can, mood, sleep quality, breath work at the end of sessions. I am a huge advocate, in this population of a really solid warm up and cool down. Actually, all my clients, like, if you've seen me train in person ever, I force a I force a warm up and cool down. It's like a non-negotiable, right? So yeah, breath work at the end of sessions, um, seated box breathing, long exhales, full recovery between sets. Again, a non-negotiable. My experience, some of some of my clients in the aging population are heavily motivated and timing that rest and ensuring that they're in line with the cues of their body, and recovering adequately is something we have to deliberately practice.
Right. Love that. How would we transfer it to life? All right. So, we're going to transfer this to life. That's our last in the smart. And you test one rep, test one rep max tasks, right? So ability to lift groceries, walk 500 meters, or get off the ground. So like everyday life functioning things that we need to do, right? As an aging population. So every cycle includes functional testing, sit to stand test, tug, timed up and go, right? So we're going to time how long it takes someone to get up off the floor. You have a 10-minute gait speed, functional reach tests. There's different tests that we can perform to transfer this to everyday life. Okay. And another big one, right? Balanced eye closed. I don't know if you guys ever done this before. Try this. You don't have to be old to do this, but like go as long as you're like, I'm not trying to tell you injure yourself, but go stand on one leg with your eyes open and check your balance. Try to do that again with your eyes closed. Watch what happens. All right. So it's pretty difficult. But if you can do that, if you can maintain that inner ear balance that we're looking for, it's a pretty powerful tool that you guys can use to really kind of make sure that you are being safe out there as far as your balance and keeping that up to speed. Okay. So, all right, let's talk about real coaching scenarios. Jaclyn's worked with quite a few people. We just drummed up. We're not going to give out any names here, but we're going to talk about some people that we have personally worked with in the past, or common scenarios that we have seen, and we've kind of lumped them in, so you guys can understand how this works. So, we have an independent woman. She's age 67. I want to paint a picture for you guys here. Her background is she's a retired teacher. She's suffering with osteoporosis, and she's afraid of weights. Her program, chair mobility flow, goblet squats with pause, a one-arm farmer carry for posture, supported balance drills. The result, gained confidence in loading, reduced fall risk, and was able to garden and walk around unaided after 4 months. Okay, so this is common stuff that we kind of see.
I want to add something there. A lot of people that I've met in the aging population who are starting to lift weights for the first time have a fear of injuring themselves, right? And that's where our expertise comes in starting slowly, loading appropriately, programming correctly for them, and making them feel safe and heard. I also think that really keeping track of all their weights and everything, and progressing in a smart manner, and keeping them in the loop about that, teaching them what RPE means, checking in with their RPE after each set, really helps build that confidence and trust. So, um,
All right, here's another case study, scenario number 2 for you guys.
yeah.
We have a male who's 72 years old. He's post heart surgery. His background has been that he's been pretty sedentary, and his doctor cleared him for movement. All right, so what are we going to do with that guy, Jack?
So, we could do things like programming low intensity step ups, right? Some unilateral movement, little cardiovascular health there too, as well, to get the heart rate up. Banded rows for posture. Really, that posterior chain is going to be important for all aging population. Breathing drills, supine bridges, and heart rate monitored walks. So, the result, heart rate dropped 10 beats per minute, resting heart rate, was able to rejoin pickleball.
Yeah. Here's another scenario. We have a 68-year-old woman who has chronic back pain and fear of weight training. A lot of times we see this. People are like, even at an aged, um, at a silver age, right, or a glorious age there, um, people fear weight training. They don't want to get big, right? And we kind of have to bust that myth. But okay, so we have 68 chronic back pain, fear of weight training. Initial 5-hour sleep average, sat for 10 plus hours a day, couldn't squat to parallel. Our assessment: forward lean squat, single leg stand, 3 seconds. Fear of falling, no floor mobility. Program: let's go with some chair supported kettlebell squats. Okay, standing wall angels, supine hip bridges, dowel pulses, single leg balance with wall contact, floor to chair transitions. 6-month outcome: now hikes local trails, sleeps 7 plus hours a night, improve gait speed by 22%. So guys, this is real type stuff. Okay. We deal with clients, we work with clients. Let's say deal with them. We work with them. We get the pleasure of working with them, right?
Yeah.
And helping transform their lives. And it could be, I think the biggest thing that I always talk about, and coaches that are on the Ignite platform will hear me say this, clients will hear me say this, but like, I'm addicted and I love the passion. And I have passion for helping people create a better quality and longevity of life. We never really truly know when that our time will come, right? When our time will be up. But if we can play a part in helping someone with the quality and longevity of their life, even if it's just a couple more days, a couple more hours, months, years, whatever it is with loved ones, it's such a powerful, powerful thing. So, not working with this population or steering away from this population, who are some of the population who need that quality and longevity of life the most, I think is a crime to yourself as a coach. It's a you're not doing yourself any justice by not working with the age population. So that's just my opinion.
One of my personal favorites in that working with that population in my training.
Yeah, it's super rewarding.
Very rewarding. Again, they're friends and family now, a lot of them.
Yeah. All right. So let's kind of wrap this thing up here. So if you're a coach, we have some action steps for you. If you're a coach listening to this, you can download the Senior Fitness Assessment Toolkit. If you're a client, you can download the Senior Fitness Assessment Toolkit ebook. Okay. And you guys can check that out. Definitely review it. Make sure that you utilize it and hopefully it helps you out.
Well, I'd under the guidance of a trainer, maybe.
Well, of course.
It's doctor's clearance always
Yeah, for sure.
for any client.
Yeah. And if you're a coach as well, pick 2 clients over 55 and audit their programming. Film and store client functional movement videos for tracking. And then reprogram 1 session a week with a transfer to life movement. Here's some reflection questions for everyone. What beliefs do you hold about older clients that may be limiting your coaching abilities or coaching in general? Which domains do you skip? Balance, breathwork, power, recovery. How can I better track progress for my older population without PRs or AMRAPs?
Can I add to that last one? How can you track progress? Use the transfers, right, to daily life, right? A lot of times, I mean, even something like getting off the couch without like pushing yourself up with your arms can be something that is a qualitative gauge of success. Like bring it back to their life. And again, we talk about this in other places in the training, but like, what is your client's why? Yeah. And how can we help them achieve that and bring the focus back to a lot for their motivation?
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening in. If you want to be a coach who makes a real change, this is it. Training older adults is where physiology meets purpose. You're not just adding reps to a session, you're adding years to a life. That's the truth.
Yeah. And a takeaway would be that, aging is inevitable for us all. Decline does not have to be. We're not just giving aging clients movement, we're giving them confidence, control, and capability, things that maybe they thought they lost. And that's what makes this a really powerful form of coaching that we can do.
Definitely. All right, guys. So this is Alex and Jaclyn signing off. Thanks again for listening in on the Coach's Corner podcast. And thank you for being a part of the Ignite Fitness family. We look forward to talking to you guys all soon. Thank you.